We are a week away from the Pokemon Presents Direct, and we got a couple things to talk about. I know we just finished talking about it a few weeks ago, but hey, it's Pokemon. Let's talk about it again. What is up, you guys? Welcome to the collective. My name is Furman, and in this video, we are going to be talking about that Pokemon Direct that's going to be coming next week, or 6 days from now, because it comes out next Thursday. But before we get started, don't forget to like this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel for more awesome content just like this. Alright, let's get into it. So this video was initially supposed to be just talking about Pokemon rumors and stuff like that, and it still is that, but now that we have a concrete date as to when Pokemon is actually going to be talking about, its IP and all that kind of stuff, it just makes all the more sense to talk about it right now. So I've been seeing a bunch of rumors floating around the internet, and let's just say it sounds a lot like what I was talking about last year and earlier this month. So it kind of looks like we're in the same mind frame. It looks like we're kind of thinking the same exact thing, except for whatever reason this one sounds a little better. It sounds kind of crazy, actually. So let's just talk about the most important one: a classic Pokemon port.
Oh my god! Wow!
But not just a port, a collection, okay? Now, initially I had wanted the Pokemon games, the retro Pokemon games, to come to Nintendo Switch Online because it just made perfect sense with it being online. We have Game Boy and we have Game Boy Advance. It just makes sense for them to be on Nintendo Switch Online. And while that is not exactly what I would have preferred, I'm okay with either one, honestly. Now, I would prefer to just own the games, which is kind of what makes this rumor so insane, because they're talking about it being a port and potentially even physical too. So that is just, absolutely insane. The thought of actually owning the retro Pokemon games on your Switch on a cartridge that you can essentially play for the rest of however long you want to, because they're literally they're not even like a megabyte. I think like the retro, I think Gold and Silver is like 1 or 2 megabytes, and maybe the Game Boy Advance ones might be a little bit more, but that is kind of insane. The Pokemon Company has never really been known for a company that likes to go back in time, that likes to travel to the past, even though, a couple of the Pokemon kind of have that ability, so I don't know why you wouldn't like that, but, that seems to be the case. They don't really like doing that. That's why it was such a huge deal for them to go back and release these games on the 3DS. And they went all in when they did it. They dropped Gen 1 and then they dropped Gen 2, and they even gave us a collector's edition 3DS. I almost said Switch, but 3DS. And, I had a lot of opportunities to buy that, and I didn't because I didn't have very much money. So I really regret that now, because that 3DS is really expensive. Now, the names of the collection is kind of where it gets a little iffy, and it's looking like they want to break it up into 2 parts, which is just classic Pokemon. It's one of them is called Pokemon Memories, which consists of Red, Gold, Ruby, and Fire Red. And then Pokemon Reminiscence, which consists of Blue, Silver, Sapphire, and Leaf Green. And then they're going to have Yellow, Crystal, and Emerald be a digital purchase. Now, I don't know, this sounds kind of crazy, but then they also talk about the fact that it has Pokemon Home support, which is just truly amazing. If it actually did happen, because there are some, exclusive Pokemon to that era that would be nice to have those actual Pokemon from these games. I don't know why, it just feels better to actually have earned the Pokemon and caught them yourselves than for it to just be some type of a distribution that they just give out. They hand out all these Pokemon and that's it. That's basically it. Lame. Nobody wants to do that. We want to play the games and we want to be able to catch these Pokemon. That's why it was so insane to see the fact that they left so much out when it comes to Pokemon Platinum, because that game had a lot of content that was just left out. Or I think the Japanese one got it, But it was just a bunch of mystery gifts and, you know, like little journeys on how to get some of the rarer Pokemon and some of the legendary Pokemon. But we just didn't get that. They just did not give that to us. You could, you know, use the mystery gift if you hacked the game, but no, I'm not gonna lie, I did that. It was a lot of fun. And you know, they wrap it all up with a bow on top and said that it's coming out March 13th, which is like, you know, it's like 2 or 3 weeks after this, you know, event. I mean, I couldn't ask for anything more if I wanted to. Like, I really couldn't. Now let's pivot a little. Let's talk about the actual Pokemon event that we're getting. Let's talk about this direct. I want to talk about it because, you know, honestly, the last 2, 3, or maybe 4 years of Pokemon Directs that we've gotten, they've been extremely lackluster. They've just kind of been, you know, the same stuff. It's like, I mean, it's like when EA does their E3 event or, you know, their Summer Game Fest event. Like, nobody's watching the EA Summer Game Fest thing. Nobody's watching the EA event. And nobody's watching the Ubisoft event either. You know, like these companies, they just kind of come out with the same thing over and over again. And it's kind of boring, super boring, uninteresting. So, you know, it's just kind of a skippable event. And that's kind of been the case when it comes to Pokemon. Every single one of these events have been chocked full of just regular stuff. Like just, you know, like they talked about Pokemon Sleep, Pokemon Go. There's updates to all of those little app games that they have. They talked about, you know, the MOBA Pokemon game, Pokemon Unite. It's just updates, okay? It's just regular updates, nothing interesting. And you know, the one that we got last year was the same exact thing. It was all of those things, and they didn't really talk about anything crazy except for the one thing, which is Pokemon ZA. And they just talked about it one time, and that was it. They have never talked about it again. It was just the one trailer. That's all we got. That was it. Nothing more. Now this year, I am hoping that we get a little more meat when it comes to Pokemon ZA. I hope that we find out a little bit more, and I am really hoping and praying that this game is actually good, because Scarlet and Violet, you know, like those games really broke my heart. Like I just couldn't get into them. I have a big problem with the new Pokemon games, and you know, I've made videos about it, so I'm not gonna get into it now. But, you know, I have a big problem with them. And I did like Legends, even though I never beat it. It just kind of got a little bit stale for me. I thought it was okay. I'm kind of hoping that this isn't the case when it comes to ZA Legends. And I'm hoping that this game is really good. And I'm also hoping that they talk a lot about it. I'm not going to get my hopes up. You know, even though I would absolutely love for this gigantic retro Pokemon Gen 1 to Gen 3 early days collection. I would absolutely love for that to happen, but you know, I'm not expecting anything. I am going in blind, and I am, fingers crossed, hoping that we get something good. And you know, that's also another issue that I have with the Legends game. It's an issue that I have with a lot of open world games where they kind of do the same thing. It's like you get 5 different mission styles. You know, it's like a fetch quest, or, you know, go talk to NPC 1 or NPC 2 and then come back to me. Like, it's very boring, very stale missions, and I hate the fact that this keeps happening. Like, even, I mean, you know, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are guilty of this too. There's a lot of missions that are just kind of like, it's just not necessary. It's not fun. It's the same thing over and over again, and nobody wants to do it. So like, what is the point of even adding it? Like, if they do it, because you know, Legends ZA is going to probably be another open world game, just like Legends was, or semi open world-ish. And you know, I'm just kind of hoping that they figure that out, even though I have no hope in the Pokemon company ever making another good game ever again. But I do hope that they figure this thing out so that we can get a good game. But not just that, so that we can break the curse, the open world curse, to where they have this massive world and there's really only 5 or 10 different things for you to do. But it looks like it's a lot because it's the same 5 or 10 missions over and over again with different skins and different NPCs and different Pokemon, and that's just not fun. That is not fun. Alright guys, that is the end of the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I don't know why I feel like I need to say this, but I am a super hardcore Pokemon fan, okay? I'm not just hating on Pokemon for no reason, okay? I have a lot of Pokemon games. I've collected almost all of them. I'm missing a couple of the older games, and when I say that, I mean the complete in-box version of it. I do have all of the games, I just don't have all of them in its box, and it's because a lot of the older ones are really expensive. But yeah, this is just, you know, a perspective from a super Pokemon fan or a Pokemon super fan, however you want to say it. It's just, you know, it's kind of been irritating few years. So yeah, I kind of hope that they shape up. And as always, guys, do not forget to like this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel for more awesome content just like this. And we will see you guys on the next video. Peace. Come on, Pokemon Company. You can do it. You can do it. You have the power to give us exactly what we want. I'm telling you right now, if you guys release that retro collection, those games will sell more than Scarlet and Violet. Hands down. Hands down. No ifs, ands, or buts. Hands down. Alright, guys. Bye. Woo.